Welcome to After the Bell. I am still Corey Graves, and KP, I left my heart in Puerto Rico. Backlash is in the books. The draft is complete. Night of Champions is on the horizon. The NXT champion Carmelo Hayes is joining the show today. KP, how you feeling?
I'm great. We've an awful lot to be excited about today, pal. We really, really do. And listen, if you're on your phone now, I never know if you're looking at Bad Bunny's entrance again or whether you're tweeting for Trish Stratus. What's it going to be?
I'm a busy guy, KP. Ordinarily in WWE, we have these tentpole events, these times of year where things sort of ramp up and start going full speed ahead. I feel like since we jumped on the road to WrestleMania at Royal Rumble, it's been 100 miles an hour, full speed ahead, nonstop. It included this weekend in Backlash. And again, right off the top of the show, I'm saying, yeah, this amazing thing just happened this past weekend, and we're already looking ahead. I'm at the point now where, professionally speaking, I feel like I'm in the air, in an aircraft, high above at 37,000 feet, and I'm looking, and I know in my head we're going 500-something miles an hour, but the world's just kind of casually creeping by below. That's how life inside WWE feels right now, and I love it.
Yeah. What about that Puerto Rican crowd, Gravy? How do you sum it up from sitting ringside?
Listen, I know people have had a few days to marinate on this now. Backlash in Puerto Rico was one of the most exciting events I've ever been a part of as part of WWE. There were numerous moments where I looked at Michael Cole beside me and we just had that ear-to-ear grin, like, wow, we're living this. You mentioned Bad Bunny's entrance. I will say this. Bad Bunny's entrance was one of the most incredible things that I have ever experienced in my life. Being in the arena and hearing a sold out, was it 18,000 plus, scream every word to his entrance music. And just the atmosphere. I can't adequately explain it. You saw it on TV. Millions of people around the world watched it. But for those of us who were lucky enough to be inside the building, we always use hyperbole and say it's rocking. Oh, man, it sounds like the roof's going to blow off this place. In that moment, had the roof literally detached from Coliseo de Puerto Rico, no one would have been surprised. It was unreal. And it wasn't just Bad Bunny. It wasn't just a one-match show. And Bad Bunny, this is a discussion I'm sure we'll have down the line somewhere, made a strong case for himself being perhaps the best celebrity competitor we've ever had in WWE. I'm sure Logan Paul will take note. But Bad Bunny, man, that dude delivered on a level I don't think anybody expected.
So I heard Mark Henry say that during the week, and he talked about Bad Bunny and grabbing the ropes and the emotion that was just oozing from Bad Bunny's veins, and everybody could see that. What made it so special for you watching Bad Bunny? Because that is high praise, because we've absolutely gone out of our way to applaud everything Logan Paul has done in a WWE ring. To put Bad Bunny alongside Logan Paul, who's a physical specimen in his own right, what made it so special?
Well, I referenced it briefly during the event. Bad Bunny is one of, if not the biggest stars in the entertainment space right now, globally speaking. I don't think a lot of people realize that. I heard an analogy this week when we were in Puerto Rico. It's something similar in magnitude to back in the early days of WrestleMania that were very, very heavily star-laden. You had your Liberace's and Stevie Wonder and Cyndi Lauper and all these big-time stars being part of it. If you were to draw that same comparison, this would, I think, be more similar to having someone the caliber of a Michael Jackson or a Beyonce.
Queen in the 70s, for example.
Yeah. I mean, that red hot in the entertainment world, being part of WWE. So just his appearance in and of itself was valuable, right? When Bad Bunny was hosting, people were excited. People were like, that's cool. We're going to go to Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny's going to get the people wound up. He's going to have a good time. But for Bunny to perform the way he did, and also massive kudos to Damian Priest, because everyone's talking about Bad Bunny, but it takes two to tango in this game, and Priest raised his own stock to a whole new level, even in defeat, because the crowd was salivating. The crowd was biting on each and every near fall. Emotional investment was at an all-time high. watching Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, who basically had a few weeks leading up to this. This wasn't some long-term storytelling that culminated after years of fans wanting to see this. It happened, the night after WrestleMania. Bad Bunny gets involved again, and we see him, 2 times before the match. The match happens and blows the roof off the place. But Bunny's timing in the ring, the emotion he conveyed and elicited simultaneously, that takes most people years to master if they ever get there. And I have no doubt it's due to his full-time job, his real job, if you want to call it that, of being an entertainer and playing stadiums and headlining Coachella and all these massive events. Bunny's a star, man, in every sense of the word, but he took this seriously. And that's the difference. We've had big time celebrities pop by because they're promoting a movie, or we'll do something. Hey, we'll do a backstage skit, or hey, watch our new show that's streaming on whatever platform. And that's cool. There's a place for that in the business. But Bunny put in the time. He put in the work, the training, and the respect that Bad Bunny shows our business, I think holds the most weight of anything that he does, because he doesn't come in. I mean, he's a star. He has demands. I'm sure Bunny called a few shots and liked things a certain way. You want to make the star happy, but the reverence and the love and the passion that Bad Bunny has for what we do, and has his whole life, he's been very open. Bunny's just living a dream. Isn't it funny how no matter what your lot in life is, you're always fascinated by something else that you don't get a chance to do. Like for me, you and I know, I'm a big baseball fan, right? Yeah. And I get excited, and when you want to know like what Corey Graves, the human being, gets excited about, yes, I get excited about WWE, and I love the wrestling business and all things about it, but I've never really had the opportunity to be part of the Major League Baseball world. And so to have a little glimpse here and there or something, that's exciting to me. I'm like, oh man, what would you do? Graves, if you had your druthers, you could have any job in the world. If you could leave WWE tomorrow, what would it be? And I say, well, if I could be the voice of the Pirates or the Yankees, I'd think about it. Obviously I'm speaking as a fan, not a legitimate businessman, because here comes the dirt sheets. Corey Graves would leave WWE for Major League Baseball.
He said it, guys. He said it.
I'm just making a point here, And Kevin, I'm sure you have stuff. I know you're a big soccer football fan, right?
Yeah, of course. Listen, we're dreamers. We're dreamers. I'd love to one day kick a football with Lionel Messi. Listen, you'd love to step up and bat for the Pittsburgh Pirates at one stage in a dream scenario, of course. And for Bad Bunny to be there in that moment as Carlito comes out, as Savio Vega comes out, to witness that moment with Bad Bunny putting on the LWO shirt, and that image of the current LWO, the new LWO, and the flashbacks then to decades ago with Eddie Guerrero, it was just so cool. And that's exactly it. You've made a brilliant point, because he's dominating in every single aspect of his life. And the one thing that he absolutely loves as much as anything is WWE from his time as a kid growing up in Vega Baja. And for him to be able to do this, but not only just do it, to do it at the level that he did it, it was just marvelous. Going through the table, the entrance with the shopping cart full of toys, as you said, that was all part of the entrance, and the drone shots and the crane shots that we had. Apparently, there was this young kid driving the drone. I was speaking to one of the crew members from WWE who said, like, the operator of the drone camera was a young guy who was just so good, and it was like playing a video game, and he's driving the drone outside the stadium and watching on for me to see the drone go through the arena and to see the crowd react the way they did. It was a spectacular event, and we were absolutely right in what we said. Thank you, Puerto Rico, because you helped provide a momentous occasion.
I completely agree with everything you said, KP. Bad Bunny certainly stole the show with Damian Priest, which is quite the testament to how much fun that entire match was. You mentioned Savio Vega. You mentioned Carlito. The energy was absolutely unbelievable. But elsewhere on the card, we had a banger between Bianca Belair and Io Sky. We talk about star-making performances. I think Io needed that match, and I think the WWE Universe certainly got to see a little more of what she's capable of. I'm excited to watch them run it back. I don't think that issue's completely resolved. You had the great 6-man tag, and of course the match that ended the night, Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. And just when it seemed that Cody had finally met his match and that there was no way the American Nightmare was going to be able to overcome the Beast, Cody switches his weight, stacks Lesnar, locked in a Kimura, a horror movie scene inside the ring, Lesnar leaking, as the kids say. But Cody emerged victorious. That was the takeaway from the Backlash Premium Live event, but far be it from any of us to assume that the issue was resolved, because Monday night, you and I were ringside. The draft had been completely in effect, new rosters in effect, World Heavyweight Championship tournament in full swing, and that's when Brock decided to strike back.
Yeah. But we should go back a second to Backlash, because the feeling was, and you said this at the very start of Monday Night Raw, you didn't say that Cody Rhodes slayed the beast. You said that Cody Rhodes survived the beast.
Correct.
And the feeling I had watching Backlash, when Cody Rhodes got out of Dodge, I mean, he wins the match. He somehow, like Michael Cole said, pops the hips. You said use the Brock's body weight against him. He pins the beast and he gets out of there as quickly as possible. The referees get out of there as quickly as possible as they bewildered and bloodied Brock Lesnar sits in the ring, and you could tell he's going to turn into a savage. Also, let's play in the fact that Brock Lesnar does, as you always say, whatever the hell Brock Lesnar wants. And Brock Lesnar's a free agent. So there was just this eerie feeling about it that, yes, Cody, you may have survived this, but at what point is it going to come back to haunt you? I just didn't feel it would be 48 hours later at a moment when Cody was about to win and qualify for the semi-final in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Like, he was a second away from winning and heading into that match with Seth freaking Rollins.
What stood out most to me actually didn't occur to me until after Raw went off the air and I was back in the hotel and was able to watch it back, because I was standing behind Brock after Brock put Cody through our table. And I know you were in front, and you had you actually said to me on the drive back to the hotel, you said, man, that was intense. That was scary. I couldn't see Brock, so I watched it back on my phone in my hotel room, and my God, Cody Rhodes, kudos to you, because you did something nobody else has somehow been able to do in the past, and that's make Brock Lesnar even more horrifying than he already was. Lesnar with a black eye and staples in his forehead, and just that weird tone that he spoke to Cody with. He wasn't shouting and screaming like a man of his size. It was cold-blooded. It was chilling.
I want to talk about a fight. I want to talk about a fight. A fight!
I was terrified of Brock Lesnar, having known how the segment ended. I knew what happened. I knew Brock would make the challenge and walk off. I watched Raw just like everybody. But watching it back, man, there was something different about Brock, and it was scarier than ever. And I hate using this as a comparison, but something about Brock stands out above and beyond all the rest. And I say this with all due respect to everyone on the roster. There's just something about Brock Lesnar that you can't doubt. You can't deny. You can't look and go, well, yeah, you know, he's probably going to go back to the hotel and have a beer after. No, you can't help but believe that Brock Lesnar is out for blood.
Because he's the most decorated combat sports athlete to ever grace God's green earth.
Yeah, but it's different, though. Look, we've got so many people with credentials from the MMA world. We've got Ronda Rousey, for God's sake. Mm-hmm. We've got Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle competed in UFC. I mean, you've got, countless amateur gangsters. You know what I mean? As far as, Chad Gable is an Olympian. You've got Otis up on the, Cody Rhodes has an extensive amateur background. Credentials are one thing. I agree with you. But there's just something intangible that you can't take away from looking at a list of accolades or looking at a wall full of trophies or medals. It's something inherent in Brock. Like, he's something a little bit more or perhaps less evolved than human. When you call Brock the Beast, maybe he's more like the missing link between cavemen and what we know today. And that's that sanguinous energy that he possesses, and that Brock doesn't care. Brock doesn't care about social media. Brock doesn't care about what the internet says about him. Brock doesn't care about anything but what his bank account looks like and what he wants to do next. And that translates through the screen. And if that doesn't scare you, man, nothing will.
So in that moment, I'll let folks in here a little bit. Security right behind us were pushing back the fans, because there was a genuine sense that this savage could do something that could really hurt someone. And that's the feeling I had. The feeling I was, this is horrifying. You know, the way he was grabbing Cody, like, this wasn't entertainment. There was nothing entertaining about this. The way he was grabbing Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes couldn't get the air out of his lungs. it was frightening. And, he still hasn't explained why he did what he did, Corey, on the Raw after WrestleMania. But he let us in a little bit in that kind of, I don't even know what to call what he did on Monday. I mean, he let us in, though. He said, I want to talk about me. So clearly, Brock has some sort of fascination and infatuation with Cody Rhodes and the build up to WrestleMania and the hype around Cody Rhodes. And you just wonder, has it taken something from Brock that he wants back?
I don't disagree with you, but can I maybe, from my perspective, simplify my takeaway and what this is all about? And you may be right. It might have been about the match order. We've hinted at it on the air that maybe that's why Brock was upset. I'm going to go back to the old Pat McAfee quote. Brock Lesnar is the alpha male of our species. Brock Lesnar sees a new top dog. And until you're watching on YouTube on Monday, I'm doing air quotes with my fingers for those of you just listening. A top dog on Monday Night Raw in the form of Cody Rhodes, in that Cody's been getting the accolades. Cody's face is everywhere. Cody is being portrayed as a top guy in WWE. Brock doesn't like that because there's only room for one. And at its very base, that's what I think this is about. Brock is still the guy. And Brock will destroy anybody who thinks that they can be the guy while Brock is still around. While there is still breath in Brock Lesnar's lungs, Brock will insist on being the guy. Which leads me to my next point, because as Brock walked away from the crime scene he left at ringside, there was a moment where the Beast glanced across the stage at the new World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Lesnar not involved in the tournament,
yes.
But if I'm Seth Rollins or whomever Seth's opponent will be, I'm nervous because I at least have an inkling that whoever walks out of Night of Champions as the new World Heavyweight Champion, you're going to have a big, nasty, angry beast hunting you down.
And for me, honestly, my feeling coming away from that was, I don't know if Brock Lesnar cares as much about becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion or whether he cared more about ruining Cody's plans. And that's the feeling I had, was that just, I've taken Cody away from this. Like, he's not going near this right now. I've derailed all his hopes. And that satisfaction that he took from that was very obvious. He's a frightening human being. And in that moment, the desk was torn to pieces. My notes, your notes, torn to pieces. And we were shook. And I said it to you during the commercial break. I was like, wow. And you said, I couldn't see his face. And I said, Corey, that was intense. I've never experienced anything like that. And I've heard an awful lot of people that have been following Brock's career closely say they've never seen that level of intensity from Brock Lesnar.
It could be an ugly, ugly scene at Night of Champions when Cody and the Beast face off. And as far as what we know as of this moment, in a fight. Lesnar doesn't want a wrestling match. Lesnar wants a fight.
Well, you said it, Corey. Cody, you've got a family.
Exactly.
Like, Cody might want to think this one through.
I hold Cody Rhodes in the highest of regards. You know all the love I have for Cody and the entire Rhodes family. This one, man, I would never be the guy to tell Cody how to live his life or how to make his professional decisions, because he's batting 1,000 right now, especially recently. But man, this is a scary, scary scene. But again, we mentioned the World Heavyweight Championship tournament kicked off, and Seth freaking Rollins, who called his shot several weeks back, delivered. Who's it going to be? You got to look down the landscape. I know all we can do is speculate who will oppose Seth freaking Rollins at Night of Champions. When you look at the six from the SmackDown side, who you got?
You know, it's funny because you've got an awful lot of former WWE champions there. You've got two Hall of Famers in Edge and Rey Mysterio on the same side of the bracket in the first match, along with AJ Styles.
Yes,
Look at
stop,
that.
stop. Yeah, stop for a second and just think about what you just said. That match is happening on free television. Two Hall of Famers and one future. Surefire, no doubt about it. AJ Styles is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Three of the best of all time in one match.
The other match, Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory. I mean,
another main event, man. A banger in the way.
How hard hitting is that?
Oh my God, Sheamus and Lashley, give me some of that. Even at the end of maybe next event at Night of Champions, hell, SummerSlam, Sheamus and Lashley, those two behemoths beating the hell out of each other. Sign me up.
You know, the crazy thing is, you talk about favorites, and we've joked about on this show before about if we were betting men, right? Where do you even go with something like this tonight? Even Monday, you know, I'm looking at a guy like The Miz, and I'm like, should he be favored? Should he be the underdog? Given his career, given how savvy and how methodical and how cunning The Miz can be. I'm like, where could he could easily win this. Seth Rollins, the man to emerge. But in terms of tonight, I haven't got a clue, pal. I have no idea who's going to come out of this. And the way triple threats work, obviously, you could be removed from the scene. You're not pinned, you're not submitted, and you're gone.
I completely agree with you. I was just trying to get you to give a pick so that if it was wrong,
all
I
right.
could make fun of you next week. No, you don't have to. You
I'm
beat
gonna
me at
give
my
you
own
one.
game, KP.
I'm going to go Bobby Lashley.
All right. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think Lashley would look fantastic with the gorgeous new World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. We will see how that all
Whoa.
shakes
Who you
out.
got? Who you got? Come on.
I didn't want to give a pick because if I'm wrong, I don't, you know me, I don't like to be wrong. I'm never wrong.
Give us a
So I don't speculate. All right. Perfect world, perfect scenario. Wrestling fan in me. One last run for the Rated R superstar, Edge Rollins at Night of Champions, because on this very podcast, Edge himself stated there's still a little unfinished business between him and the Visionary. Main event anywhere around the world. And I think it was in Saudi Arabia.
Yes,
in fact, yes, I know it was in Saudi Arabia that the classic Rollins Edge Hell in a Cell match went down. If there's any way to raise the bar, those two can do it in the desert, in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I cannot wait to see who emerges the new world heavyweight champion. But KP, while we're talking champions, I would be remiss to not mention the man who carries the flag for NXT these days. He is the NXT champion and our guest at this time, Carmelo Hayes.
NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. We are buzzing to have you here on ATB. And look, before we get into your championship reign, your massive match to come against Braun Breaker at Battleground, we've just been talking about the new World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins has advanced to Night of Champions. On Friday Night SmackDown, we got 6 amazing superstars doing battle, including 2 Hall of Famers. You got any prediction as to who's going to Night of Champions and who's going to be the new World Heavyweight Champion?
Man, I thought my boy Cody was going to do it. I thought Cody was going to do it, man. I wanted it to come down to Cody and Seth one more time, but I'm rooting for AJ, man. I think I'm really rooting for AJ. I'm excited to see that triple threat. I think a lot of people are excited to see that triple threat. AJ, Edge, and Ray all in the ring at the same time. I don't think they've ever been in the same ring together. That and then Sheamus, Bobby, and Theory. That'll be a good one too. I don't know if Theory needs it. You know what I mean? I think because he's doing great with the U.S. title. I'd like to see Bobby get the win on that one, to be honest. It'd be cool if it came down to maybe like Bobby and AJ and Seth in the finals. I think in Saudi would be great.
You get no complaints from me if that's how it shakes out, man. I think that's a blessing for all of us. Everybody wins if that's how it works out. But you mentioned how you think Theory doesn't need the United States Championship, and it kind of makes me think of sort of your growth and your journey in NXT. You now sit as the kingpin of NXT, as the reigning NXT champion. You're the one man, I believe, who's held all of the singles championships in NXT. But your journey wasn't an overnight success. You sort of took it step by step by step. Start me back at the beginning, man. Let's go back to when Carmelo Hayes first arrived in NXT. What was your goal? What was your mentality? And how have you grown in the years since?
I knew when I first got there, I wanted to be something different. I remember Black and Gold era. Everybody talks about romanticize the Black and Gold era so much, and it was great and it was awesome in the peak. But right after the whole thing with COVID and in that kind of Thunderdome era of WWE and NXT, it was kind of on a decline in a way. And I remember watching the show as like a brand new signee, and I'm thinking, man, there's so much missing here that I feel like I could bring to this show. Like there just needs to be something like nobody's doing this, nobody's doing this, nobody's doing this. I'm like, man, I just need the opportunity. So I had worked hard for like 4 or 5 months in the Performance Center, just getting ready and working like the little live event shows that we have. And finally, they gave me a shot. They gave me my name, and then 2 days later, they gave me a shot against Kushida for the Cruiserweight title in my debut. And after that match, I had done really well, but I remember talking to Hunter after. I was like, man, I know I could do so much better. And then I remember talking to Sean. This is a story that I've told a couple of times. And just telling Sean straight up, I said, man, I really want to be a top guy. I don't want to get nothing wrong with 205 live. I said, but I know I'm undersized, but I don't want to be a 205 live guy. I see more for myself. And Sean will even tell you to this day that he kind of respected that I had the balls to come out to him and tell him that. And here we are. So, but I bet on myself in that very moment, and that was something that I just believed. It was like, I know I have a lot to offer for this brand. Just give me the ball.
How did you keep your head level? I remember being in the Performance Center. I was in all the way back to FCW days at developmental, and it can be frustrating, and it can be Groundhog Day, and you wake up and it's training and it's the gym and it's the same stuff over and over again. And here's a guy in Carmelo Hayes who knows what he wants. You see the light at the end of the tunnel, but on the journey, how'd you keep yourself sane?
It's funny you say that, because you'll win a championship and then go back to 8:30 a.m. Gym or ring.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on top of the world, and then it's like the next day you're just back at it. But as far as staying level-headed, I was kind of living in the moment in a sense where I wasn't getting ahead of myself. I knew there was something bigger to come, but I didn't focus on, the goal as much as I focused on the present and how I can make what's in front of me, the best that I possibly can. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was always thinking of, like, man, down the road. But in the meantime, because you're right, man, it low-key, it is kind of Groundhog Day. Because we go, it's like a 9 to 5 in a lot of ways. But I never let that get to me in that sense. And that's a good question, because I never thought about it out loud. But yeah, it can be a little bit. Yeah, it can be a little bit.
Leave it to grizzled old Graves to poison the minds of the up and coming NXT superstars.
No, because it's a feeling that you feel, but you never really understand it. But yeah, it's Groundhog Day, and luckily, like, my journey has been like 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people have back and forth, and it's harder. So I've been fortunate enough.
And that's why it stands out to me, because it's been incremental growth. The NXT fans have watched the growth and the evolution of Carmelo Hayes. Sure, you're a star the first time you see on screen. Then the pairing with Trick comes to be, and we're getting a lot more screen time, a lot more mic time, and then you're delivering unforgettable matchups, regularly at premium live events or the NXT specials. It's a real testament to letting the process sort of play out. That's why I was curious as to how you kind of kept your sanity during all that.
Yeah, and a lot has to do with Sean and everybody, you know what I mean? Him helping me, and a lot of the coaches helping me and stuff. But I'm always just trying to get better. So I think that has a lot to do with it too, where it's like I never felt like I was good enough. Not good enough, but I never felt like it was. I always felt like I could be doing better. So I was always on the pursuit to kind of like, all right, man, how can I top that? How can I top that? How can I top that? And I think that drove me further than I realized. And now I'm saying it out loud to you, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably how I got through all that, just trying to progress,
Right.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the self-discovery process of realizing who Carmelo Hayes is. Who is Carmelo Hayes for you, and the process of becoming this character that you are today?
Yeah, when I came in, I had so much confidence in myself. I've always had confidence in myself, but I tell a story about a lot of times, like, you have to fake it till you make it. And coming into the WWE system, not knowing pretty much how anything works here, and you're there with a bunch of OGs, especially like when I had started, it was, the Coles and Garganos and Champas and, really OGs and Samoa Joe and them. So, I had confidence, but it had to be kind of quiet. Just because I knew I was like, no, I'm not where I need to be yet. Right. So I just needed the opportunity to be able to express myself and express my confidence out loud. And I think that has a lot to do with my character. It's truly me, but at the same time, it's like, in real life, you would never talk about yourself and your accomplishments and stuff, but on TV and in this wrestling world, you know what I mean? People love it. People talk your talk. People want to hear you talk,
right?
Your confidence. So that was the biggest thing for me as far as like my character development, was being able to express my confidence out loud, and then back it up. That's a big thing too, man. Like, you could have it and you might not be able to back it up. It's like, thankfully I've been able to, talk my cry and then back it up on the back end. So I'm still developing it, because I thought I knew a lot. I realized I don't. I'm still like trying to figure it out, man.
Isn't it funny, man?
Corey,
the more you learn, the more you realize how little you already knew.
Yeah. And I hit that wall recently, and I was like, man, I got a lot more to learn. So I'm on that journey, still figuring out Carmelo.
What do you mean you hit the wall? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I don't want necessarily the wall, but Corey, like when you think you have it figured out, you're like, I got this. I know what I'm doing. And then something happens. You're like, whoa, hold on, man. No, that was a reality check.
Yeah.
I need I need some more work.
The good news is those never stop.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So if I can issue a fair warning, one of these days when we're working together on Mondays or Fridays, just be aware they never stop.
So I needed it because, it can't all be like rainbows and butterflies. You got to kind of have, moments like that. So it was humbling.
No, that's important.
Hey, Mello, you casually dropped the name Hunter and you said Shawn. We're talking about Triple H here. We're talking about Shawn Michaels, Hall of Famers, absolute legends. Yeah. How have they helped you and nurtured you throughout your career so far?
Man, I've been so fortunate to have a good relationship with those guys from the get-go. I know Shawn was one who was like pulling for me early on, who wanted to just get me in front of Triple H. And then Triple H, he kind of gave him like the seal of approval on me when I worked with Kushida, and they gave me the trust to work with Adam Cole, and the whole stuff with the breakout tournament. I think they saw like, okay, well, we have something here, which like I said, I believed in myself, and I think a lot of times when you believe in yourself and you express that, then they're like, all right, if he believes in himself, then all right, we'll give him a shot. Hopefully, we're not wrong, and it's been my goal to make sure I prove that they were not wrong about, running with me. So, but Shawn and I, like, it's day to day, you know what I mean? Where he's constantly just, checking in as far as like, hey man, you need to do this better or don't do this. Just trust me on this. And sometimes I get ahead of myself and I, like I said, Corey, like sometimes you think, I don't know anything. You know what I mean? I never freaking did WrestleMania. Shawn's like, look, I know I don't look like Shawn Michaels from before, Sexy Boy, but I'm still that guy. You gotta trust in me. You gotta trust in me. So that's like that relationship with Shawn is great. And then Hunter, every time I see Hunter, he's always very warm to me. I haven't really got to sit down and talk to him in a while, but I'm looking forward to when I get up there to have a good conversation with him.
We're talking relationships. Talk to us a little bit about Trick Williams and what Trick has brought to the entire package that is the presentation of Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, Trick is such a big character. It's like it's hard to explain. Like when you put him on screen, you put him next to anybody. It's like automatically it just lights up the room in a way.
Right.
So I think Trick with my character, because I'm pretty chill and I'm pretty mellow. He adds that sort of like flavor and seasoning and life to everything that we do, which I'm super fortunate for with Trick. And also too, like with matches and stuff, he's always like a good, we have a lot of good chemistry where I have like a, passing the ball, he can shoot it up, then I can go rebound it. That type of relationship where it's like, if I need him, he's there. He got me in any situation. And I'm just so happy, like his progression, because, when he first came in, he was really new. A lot of these guys here, man, really, really new. So it's just like to see his match with Bron Breakker on Tuesday and how far, he's progressed. It makes me proud because he's so close to me in a way, especially with on TV and stuff. It's like, it's a testament to all of our hard work to get to this point, make 2 stars out of one situation.
Graves, I've said it to you in the car before about Trick Williams. We've had him on Main Event. I'm a big fan. I thought he was great on Tuesday night against Bron Breakker again. But his enthusiasm is infectious, And as that grizzled old vet, Gravy, I know you look for that, don't you? And Trick certainly has that.
Oh, absolutely. I think the world of Trick. I've gotten to know Trick fairly well over the past few months, heading down to NXT and working with those guys and girls. And I think the world of Trick. I think he's a star waiting to happen, man. I mean, he's a star already, but I think there's big things in the future. But you also mentioned Bron Breakker, the man from whom you captured the NXT championship. We'll talk about Bron in a minute and your big rematch coming up. I want to go back to WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania Saturday, the Crypto.com arena, you one-on-one versus Bron Breakker for the NXT championship to kick off WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania Saturday. We talked a little bit about your journey and how you've known where you wanted to go, where you wanted to be. What did it feel like to experience the culmination of all of that on WrestleMania weekend in Los Angeles in a packed Crypto.com arena in front of that atmosphere?
Yeah, when I was doing media that whole week leading up to that, it was just getting realer. The more I was talking about it, it was just getting realer and realer and realer. It was almost like, oh my God, don't psych myself out. Because everyone put it just like that, man. Main event, kicking off WrestleMania weekend, sold out crowd. I'm like, oh man, you guys I wasn't thinking about all this. But no, I just felt ready. I think that was the biggest thing, like going into it. I didn't feel like the moment was bigger than me. I didn't allow it to kind of, like I took that pressure with ease, I think. And I was actually very impressed with how well I adapted under that. There's a lot of things that I wish I had done better because I'm a perfectionist.
Are you one of those guys that do you watch your matches back or do you not?
So I will for like tape study purposes. But I always see so many things, man, that I'm like, man, like I know better.
Yeah.
You know better sometimes, but you don't do better. And it's like, man, like I shouldn't. That's another story, and that's off record type stuff. But yeah. So the moment was great. Uh, really, it was one of those things where you always say like, I need to stop and take this in, and I need to like really. I actually did. So like, I remember like thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, hold on, just hold it right here, and look, you know what I mean, and breathe this in because you don't get a lot of firsts like that, and a lot of people don't ever get to experience that. So it was just a freaking beautiful moment, and winning the title too was like you know what I mean, like man,
Icing on the cake, man.
like I had all three of the titles at that point, and I'm not one of those like, oh, I want champ, you know what I mean, but having the championship, it's a sign of trust. It's a sign of, you know what I mean? Hey, we're going to go with you, all your hard work, here you go type of thing. And I don't know if that's saying too much or not, but
No,
that's what that.
I was actually going to ask you more about that because it's cliche. I'm not going to quote Spider-Man here, but with great power comes great responsibility. That is truth when it comes to championships in WWE, especially NXT. And we just got through the WWE draft, and the rosters on all the main shows now look very different, including NXT. Now, as you sit as the kingpin of NXT, what does the future of NXT look like under the reign of Carmelo Hayes?
One of the things is like I noticed there's so many studs still left on the roster. There's so many good guys that can have that black and gold era type style that people always say that they miss and they want. So I look forward to having those type of matches with guys. Like there's so many guys: Dijak, Dragon Lee, Ilya Dragunov, Tyler Bate, Wes Lee. Still, you know what I mean. And I know I'm forgetting names, but there's so many good guys on that roster. I just want to have great matches with all of them during this reign and see who's willing or who can dethrone me at that point. But yeah, I just want to bring back good, solid wrestling to this NXT show. Not that there's not that, but there's a lot of people learning how to get their feet wet, and then there's a lot of guys who are willing to go out and kill it. And I think I'm among one of those guys that wants to go out and kill it.
One of those guys who got their feet wet and found himself in the deep end in a relatively short period of time would be Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, the NXT 2.0 rebrand, obviously, it has its fans, it has its people that weren't necessarily fans of it, but one thing nobody will deny is it really set the stage for the arrival of Braun Breaker,
Yeah.
the man who you dethroned for the NXT championship. Compare and contrast sort of your journeys. I know you spent time on the independents. You yourself just told us how when you arrived, you weren't really sure how things were going to shake out and you had to wait and make your own opportunities. Braun Breaker comes from a lineage. He is a Steiner, a Hall of Fame lineage.
Right.
What have you had to do differently versus a Braun Breaker to get to the same level?
I don't know. I don't really compare him and I in very many ways. Like I think we have a lot of similarities. Like I give him credit a lot of times too, because and a lot of guys, like when you get the ball, anyone can get the ball. It's a matter of like, can you run it? Can you score? Can you continuously, be consistent and get, first downs and get touchdowns? Things like that. So I mean, that's why with Braun, it's like I see more similarities than I do differences in a lot of ways because it's like, man, I know the pressure that he felt, and I'm hoping he knows the pressure that I felt. Where Sean was like, hey, and there's other guys too, Grayson Waller, you know what I mean, but Tony D'Angelo, that they were like, hey, you guys are going to be our guys. Let's get this thing off the ground. Especially during the era where 2.0, where people were kind of like, it's not our old, NXT, but. I mean, as far as Braun Breaker's journey, like I said, man, I had to have respect for him because it's like he got the ball and he ran it. And he handled it, he handled it with poise. And you can't deny that because it's not easy to be the champion with freaking 6 months experience.
You know what? He can tackle when he doesn't have the ball. And that's for sure. When you look back at Tuesday night, not sure how your ribs are doing right now, but my
Yeah,
God, can he move? Can he move fast? And he took you out, and it's all building now beautifully toward Battleground. For you, this promises to be an emotional affair because you're champ, right? You're bringing your championship, but you're bringing it home to Massachusetts. Is this going to be a Zelina Vega in Puerto Rico or Sami Zayn in Montreal moment for you here?
Yeah,
NXT?
he's definitely screwed, man. He's not going to get out of there alive. I'm telling you, and I think that's the best thing about this whole thing is now it's like the roles are more definitive, because there was a lot of respect going into that. And then now it's like, not that I don't respect him, but, he pissed me off, man. And I'm really getting tired of this showing up and him doing me like that, especially being champion. I need to stand my ground. So I think that this is what this match at Battleground is more about. I don't know if it's necessarily as much about the championship anymore. I think it's more personal than that with Braun. I think he has a personal issue with me. He said it himself. He doesn't really care about that championship. It was a curse to him. You know what I mean? He's thrived more without that championship. But you got to remember, he's thrived at my expense, and that's not okay with me. And, so I think that at Battleground, it's kind of like, I need to get it back, and I need to get my lick back, as kids would say, KP. What that means is that, he did me dirty. It's coming right back to him, a good old fashioned receipt. So he's going to see me in low, and he's going to have a hard time, man, because these people are not going to let him breathe at all. I put in a lot of work in that city. I put a lot of work in that state before I even got to WWE. So it's going to be special, definitely. Not for him, but for me.
You said you think he has a personal issue with you. Why?
I mean, he seems like he doesn't want the championship anymore. He just wants to take me down every chance that he gets. You know what I mean? It seems like it's every time I show up in the ring or every time, they come after my match with Grayson Waller and just to take me down, and for what? You know what I mean? And for what? That's where I'm at. Like, kind of, what is it? Like, if it's not about the championship, is it because he got embarrassed? He took that loss to me at Stand and Deliver. He thought he was untouchable, and he got touched. So I guess that's where, we're going to have to figure out at Battleground what this really is about. And then beating up my boy Trick multiple times. Like, come on, man.
Mello, we're talking about the importance of heading back to your roots, to the Worcester area. Someone else very near and dear to me in my life is from the greater Worcester area. But
Yeah.
much like Carmella, you would not know that from seeing Carmelo Hayes on screen, much like Carmella on screen is the Princess of Staten Island. But what are some of your biggest influences that has helped develop the Carmelo Hayes that the globe gets to know, as opposed to the kid who grew up in the Worcester area?
Sure. So, I mean, it's sports, it's music, it's everything pop culture, it's everything culture. Like I said earlier about looking at the landscape of WWE, NXT, I was like, what's missing? I was like, what's missing is like modern day, what's hot today. And Sean and I go back and forth a lot of times because, respectfully, he doesn't know, a lot of things about today's, you know what I mean? He was cool as hell in the 90s, when it was, the attitude was cool and everybody had that angst. But in today, it's like, there's so many little things that I'm sure he's probably like, I don't know, like what these kids are doing, but I do. So that's what I wanted to bring to TV. That's what I wanted to bring to Carmelo Hayes' character, just to give, a certain different, flavor to what we know as pro wrestling and not be so pro wrestling.
And that's such an important aspect of this game, because I run into that. I still fancy myself like, oh, I'm cool, I'm hip, I know what's cool. But realistically, just the age gap between you and I, Carmelo, is what, probably 10, 11. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
28.
Okay, you're 28, so 11 years. I got 11 years on you. I think, oh yeah, I'm on. I know pop culture. I know what music's hot, but there's such a drop off, and it's so important to have people within who are pushing and can say, hey, listen, I know that may have been how you did it, but that's not how we do it anymore. But I think that's don't lose that, man. I'm saying, because in this business, it's as creative as anything, and you're going to have 50 different opinions. And sometimes the prevailing opinion is just going to be because the guy's been there the longest. It's not necessarily the most impactful. So that, like, kudos to you, man. That's very important to keep that inside you and fight for it. Has there been anything you can share with us where you went, hey, I want to do this, and went, what, are you crazy? No way. And then you ended up getting away with it?
There's a lot of things.
So you're a ask for forgiveness, not permission kind of guy?
I ask for permission and then I'll ask for forgiveness too. It's bad. No,
okay.
I think
he's gonna double down.
No, I think with Sean, him and I have that relationship where it's like, hey, Sean, I think this will be really cool, or I want to say that, but he more or less is like, is it gonna benefit what we're trying to do, or do you just want to say it, or do you just want to do it to do it? That's the one thing that I learned now that I'm maturing here, is like, there's a lot of things I just wanted to say, like rest in, like
Just
first
'cause it sounds
48.
cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, like nobody's talking like that, like things like that, and dressing like this and acting like that. And but then I realized I'm like, okay, well, if it's not gonna further our story, it's not gonna further our, mission, and I gotta look at NXT as a whole, and the brand and the TV show and sponsor. I don't ever want to represent the brand in a negative way because I want to say something that's like a little edgy or whatever. So I learned to kind of like pick my fights. I still go up. Me and him, we st- yeah, we still go back and forth.
Come
with
on,
it,
you
but
can let
he
it out.
respects.
You can let it out.
No, he respects that about me. I know I'm a pain in the ass, man. I know, like me and him. I know he's probably like, dude, chill, like chill, but I can't help it, and he knows that. Like, I just care a lot. I'm very passionate, so it's like he knows that and respects.
Not to sell anyone down the river, but there are plenty of people that are surrounding us at all times who've got plenty of stories about how HBK was never ready to slow down or just wait. He wanted what he wanted when it's one of those things. I see a little bit too much of you or a little bit too much of myself in you.
And see, and that's the thing. Like Sean had mentioned something similar about it. He's like, "How can I tell you no when I would go to bat for like these type of same things?" So it's like he sees a lot of like that sort of like, I just want to be so great, but you don't know how to really express it. So I mean, he has a lot of grace with me, thankfully. But at the same time, it's like I got to pick my fights because like I win about 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10.
Hey, in this business, that's not a terrible record.
No, exactly. Mello, you picked a little fight early February that I don't know if you're ever going to win with the Princess of Staten Island.
Oh,
over
KP,
on
I was going to
Twitter.
be nice.
No, I
I
gotta
wasn't
bring it
even going
up.
to bring it up.
I
Mello
gotta
and I
bring it up.
squat. It's fine. It's old beef. You're trying to. This is what
No,
KP
no.
does.
Cannot coexist.
Yeah,
No,
see?
I mean, come on. Carmella takes to Twitter. Can someone please tell Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams to stop using my catchphrase? You then
Yeah.
respond, you cheeky fella, and you say, which one? To be honest, I have a lot. You're winding up the gravy household there in Pittsburgh.
Hey,
I was trying to keep it cool.
I sat right beside her on the couch when that tweet was sent, and I went, well, whatever happens, happens. Hey, you want to make an omelet? You got to break a few eggs, right? It's all water under the bridge.
It's water under the bridge. No, I thought it was funny because the fans are the ones that say that. You know what I mean? It's like the fans are the ones. I think we may have mentioned it like, looks like money, walks like money, is money. But the fans, like, so I was just like, they had a field day. Me and Mello were just chilling, but they had a field day with it.
Hey, let them have their fun, right?
Yeah.
But to that point, you're a man of many catchphrases, but the one right now that's red hot, that's everywhere, is I am him. Mello is him. Talk to us a little bit about what that phrase means for those old heads of us who aren't necessarily in tune with culture.
Sure. So it's really the journey of my progression in a way. There was a period in time where I had the North American Championship, and I was calling myself the A-Champ, meaning like at that time, like I truly believed I was the most important champion on the brand. So for a long time, it was like, the A-Champ, the A-Champ, the A-Champ. And then I had kind of like, when I had lost the championship, I'd kind of gone on to the one of one. I tried to call myself to kind of get that, started like, hey, there's only one of me. And then on the journey to get the NXT title was really, for me, it was like, hey, I'm the guy, I'm him. Like, if anybody's going to be the guy, if anybody's going to take that title, if anybody's going to do it, it's me. I am him. So that's where that whole him thing really kind of came from, where it was like, nah, you can't deny me. I'm the guy. And especially in sport, and it's another thing going back to pop culture and sports. Him is very popular right now. A lot of guys, when they do something, like great, they self-proclaim themselves. I am him. Like, I did that. I'm the one. I'm the guy. I am him. So, and I think it carries weight.
I like it.
Because it's so simple. It's him. That's him.
It's one of those catchphrases where if you've never seen Carmelo Hayes, but within a few seconds, you understand it fits. It all makes sense and ties together. It's not just, to your point earlier, it's not just cool for the sake of being cool. It fits the entire package, and that's the utmost importance, man.
Yeah, you got to back it up, and you've certainly done that so far.
The thing.
Yeah.
Can't just say it.
We're all wired differently when it comes to ambition and goals. Do you focus simply now on background, and you're looking at the few weeks ahead, or are you a 10-year type guy and you've set certain goals within WWE? Where's your head at?
At one point, yeah, I was like, I'm looking at, I want to do this, I want to do this, and then again, going back to Sean, he gave me like a really he's like, hey man, you need to build brick by brick. He's like, you guys, young people, they want to do everything so fast and they want to change so quickly and they want to, you know what I mean? They're always looking at what's next, what's next, what's next, and you got to just focus on what's in front of you. He's like, you can't build a house. Give me a great analogy about that. He's like, you have to do it brick by brick. He's like, you can't start putting a roof on before you build the foundation. And that's just a young, and that's a young person thing that I'm when I tell you about hitting that wall, that has a lot to do with that hitting that wall, is realizing I'm trying to build a freaking roof and I don't even have the bottom floor yet. So it's like, that was a big thing as far as my ambition. So I'm just focused on the process. I'm just focused on what's in front of me right now. I know what's for me is for me and it's not going anywhere. So, the best I can do is work on exactly what's in front of me right now.
Well, man, you're doing a great job. Allow us to pass on our appreciation for everything that you're doing right now. Good luck.
Thanks,
NXT Battleground, May 28th. Yeah. That's Sunday night, streaming on Peacock on the WWE Network. The night after Night of Champions, Carmelo Hayes defends his NXT Championship against Braun Breaker. Melo, any final words?
No, I'm good. I appreciate y'all having me on. Everybody tune into that. Hey, man, I got to get my lick back. Stay tuned, man. Braun, man, all those times that he did me dirty. I'm telling you, KP, getting my lick back. Look that up on Google.
And
use it on Raw.
Melo, where can everybody find you on social media?
You can find me at Carmelo_WWE on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget, Melo is money.
I'm going to start charging royalties for that one. But make sure you're following us at After the Bell WWE on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me at WWE Graves. You can find KP at Kev_Egan. Happy Mother's Day to all celebrating this weekend. We could not do any of this without you, quite literally. So we hope it's a beautiful day wherever and however you are celebrating. And make sure you're listening for free to ATB wherever you get your podcast. Just search After the Bell and smash the follow button so you never miss an episode. Full episodes of After the Bell available on WWE's official YouTube channel each and every Monday. And we'll be back next week with more wisdom, more vitriol, and more WWE After the Bell. Like what you hear? Catch full episodes of After the Bell wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us now and never miss an episode.